Right.
Brian Powell, here at the finish line of Speedgoat 50k with Karl. Karl, you were put in a tough spot today. Tell us what put you in the tough spot.
Today was a really tough spot. We had a great competitive field at the race this year, and it was panning out exactly how it was supposed to pan out. Kilian Jornet, Rickey Gates in the front, chasing the leaders up top here. And Rickey beat Kilian to the top, and that was great. Everything's running out great. What happened though, along the route, I was descending into Mineral Basin myself. Kilian was in the lead briefly. He caught a switchback. That was the first time we saw it happen. Okay, one little thing, no big deal. He continued on the course, and he continued to cut switchbacks randomly throughout the route. I mean, there were a lot of visuals from our volunteers that saw it, so now I'm thinking like, well, what do I do now? Do I disqualify him? Do I just let it ride?
I don't know what's
every other runner, not exactly every other runner, Rickey Gates, who was right behind him, was a little pissed off. He wasn't liking that very much. So Rickey followed the route. He followed the course. He stayed on track. For Rickey, it was a close course.
Yeah, right. You could just
as they went into Mineral Basin, I don't know how many switchbacks Kilian cut into there. I couldn't see, but as he left Larry's hole, he cut a few more. He was told at mile 20 that he's not supposed to cut switchbacks, and then he did it again on descending in Little Cloud Bowl near the finish line. So now here I am in this tough position to say, how do I monitor this? What do I do? Do I disqualify Kilian Jornet? Do I just let it ride? So what I did, Kilian ended up crossing the finish line first in 5 hours and 14 minutes, which is ridiculously fast. Rickey Gates was 5:18 and change. I told Kilian when he initially crossed the line, I said, hey, I may have to disqualify you because of cutting the course. And Kilian is a very gracious athlete, and he goes, yes, it's okay. I understand, it's okay. And I was pretty psyched about that he was really gracious. He was a great kid, because I'm old. But at the same time, I waited a little while to make a decision on what the final was going to be. I talked to 10 or 20 people. I got their insight, their inputs, and the most important input I got probably was something that Pikes Peak did years ago, where a few Europeans came over, they cut corners, I don't know if they technically won the race, but they cut the corners, they didn't disqualify him, but what they didn't do is they didn't pay him the money, the prize money. And so I said, you know what, I think that's probably a reasonably fair thing to do. And to be honest with you, I hated to do this. I hated to be in this position. Some people will think I'm a bad guy for the decision that I made, but honestly, I think it was kind of the right decision. I could have said, DQ, you're out, done. See you next year, maybe, maybe not. I really want this race to continue as a skyrunning race, so I kind of wanted to continue. So I made the ultimate decision of going with what Pikes Peak did, and we paid Rickey Gates as the winner. Rickey also beat Kilian to the top, so he gets a $1,000 bonus. Also is under the record. So Rickey gets $4 grand, and unfortunately Kilian doesn't get any money. But I still gave Kilian Jornet the win because as a skyrunning series program, I really want to keep that, and I don't want to like diss him out on that whole thing, and that's kind of how they race in Europe and all the other races, so I kind of let that ride. And and Kilian again was a very gracious athlete. He was a really cool guy, and Rickey felt good about it. A lot of the other spectators that know what my decision was, they felt that was good. And ultimately the bottom line is Rickey Gates will get the course record. Will be technically the course record because he followed the course. And again, it's such a hard decision to make, and Kilian was very gracious about it, so it's it is what it is.
Well, thank you for explaining. I know there's a lot of curious people out there, and it was a hard decision. But overall, what an incredible day here at Snowbird.
It was an incredible race. Speedgoat 50k. Nobody got lost. People stayed on track. It was a close race up front. 6 guys went under the previous record, and by a fair amount. It was a hot day. I mean, Kilian even mentioned too, if it's cloudy and if it were slightly raining, we're talking 450. We're talking under 5 hours on this course. It's pretty darn fast. So, you know, again, I think the one thing I will change next year is I will make it a point to say that you cannot cut switchbacks in this race. And if I say that and it happens again, then there will just be a straight up DQ because I've said it and it'll be on the website, of course, too. This year it wasn't on the website. My first thing to do was to check if I put that on there, and I didn't. So then I had to make this decision. So, you know, I think I made the right one. And if some people don't like that, well, that's ultra running.
Yeah.
So it's what it is.
Thanks for putting on a great race and dealing with a hard situation.
Yeah. It was a great race. It was fun.
Let's have some beers.
Yeah, it's wait a minute. This is a good one.
This, I'm hiding it because it's not so good.
It's easy,
Tap room.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping off the beers.
Bottoms up.